All right, welcome back, everyone, to Lakers Latest. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Weather was really nice. It's about 78 degrees out right now. Not overly sunny, not overly crazy hot. Thankfully, it was past 2-3 weeks that have been like 90 plus the entire time. It was just so hot. It was brutal. Um, so yeah, hopefully everyone had a good time. Whether you went out, went to a sporting event, whether it's a football game, college football, NFL. Just kind of hung out with your friends, had a good weekend. Yeah, I hope everyone just kind of had a good time. Obviously, we are right around the corner to NBA basketball preseason. Lakers preseason game is October 3rd, and then training camp is actually, I believe, it starts tomorrow, so it's right around the corner. And then before we know it, we're 3 weeks away, and we're in the thick of regular season basketball. Tomorrow night we got Dodgers playoff baseball. It's weird seeing them in the wild card, but yeah, obviously hope for the best with them. Fourth week of NFL, college football in full swing, hockey in about 2 weeks starts, and then college basketball start in a little over a month and a half. Um, yeah, just really looking forward to this part of the sports calendar. It's one of my favorite times of the year, so can't wait. All right, let's start it off today with Lakers Media Day. It's right now. It's today. I mean, it already happened, but obviously a ton going on there. It's kind of the first glimpse of just hearing players, hearing them talk, hearing JJ Redick talk, the front office talk, hearing the new guys, why they chose here, what they think their role is going to be here, and it's just generally one of the best days before the season starts. Excuse me, allergies, but it's exciting. It's to finally hear from everyone after a summer of moves, a summer of speculation. Kind of so much has happened. It's just really good to hear from these guys and kind of just get a glimpse of the team that we're going to be watching on a daily basis. Excuse me, it's bad right now. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna talk next about a couple of the more important things I saw on media day and kind of just spend this whole one as media day as a whole. So yeah, kind of media day, obviously a bunch of guys talked, everyone gets up there, they all talk about how excited they are. It's that first day. It's almost like that first day at school, right? You remember that, although no one actually enjoyed that first day at school. They're professional athletes, so they're having a good time, but no one actually enjoyed. But that's what it feels like. It's like, all right, we all just had the summer off, we're back, we're ready to go. um, we had LeBron talk about his future, which I'll touch on in the next slide. But a couple things that to me kind of stood out, specifically with Luka. Obviously, this is the first full time we're kind of hearing Luka talk about last year, the trade, his summer, obviously everything. And one thing he talked about was just last year was very difficult for him. He kind of was like, this trade, I didn't really know how to feel. Obviously, he felt such loyalty to the Mavericks, but also so excited about being part of the Lakers. Um, just said it was very difficult, and then obviously when he got traded, also got hurt. So the injury on top of it already being difficult, already being, probably the craziest trade in NBA history. Now he's got these injuries to overcome, and then he did that, and then he came back, but he wasn't fully in sync with the team. So yeah, he just kind of talked about, he's in a much better place now. He's excited to get going. He's really excited to play with LeBron, and he kind of talked about another thing was he really talked about how much he loves having JJ Redick as a coach. He said there's that really kind of comfortability with him. He really likes him as a coach. He's really excited about this partnership, the two of them moving forward. Obviously, everyone else, but the two of them, given the fact that he's going to be the main Lakers player. So you love hearing that. Obviously, he only had half a season with JJ last year. It's going to be exciting to see them in a full season, see how JD utilizes him, see if he, potentially, the hope would be that he's in line for his best season yet. So, yeah, I mean, all that stuff really exciting. We obviously heard from Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton. I'll touch on DeAndre Ayton a little bit, but Marcus Smart, just talked about, like, he's here to play defense. He's here to defend his butt off for all intents and purposes. He's like, that's why Luka called me. That's why, they wanted me to be a part of this team. Like, obviously, he talked about, he understands. He still thinks he's going to contribute offensively, but he knows the main reason he's here is to be that lockdown defender. He knows that. I think we all know that, so you love hearing him say it. And he's a guy that's not afraid of the challenge. Like, he will embrace that role of the defensive stopper. He will be excited for it. He'll be gritty. He'll stick his feet in the mud. and he'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to defend any of the elite defenders that, you try and put him on. So obviously love hearing from that. Jake LaRavia talked about how excited he is. It's funny. They're like, LeBron's in year 23, and Jake LaRavia is like, I'm 23 years old. That's just insane to me that he was born while LeBron was in the NBA. But yeah, just really exciting stuff, and just gets you excited for the next couple weeks of training camp and them getting to, preseason, getting to know each other and all that good stuff. So I could touch a little bit more on LeBron, which obviously we've talked about a ton this summer. But this is kind of the first time we're actually hearing from LeBron. Like, we've heard so many from Windhorst and all the speculation and all the and all the news and all the analysts and all of them. So this is what we think LeBron's gonna do. And we heard from Rich Paul last week, who said, "Don't worry about LeBron's future." Like, okay, great, but now, kind of nice to finally hear from the man himself. Have someone kind of not talking about his future, just him. So naturally, obviously, people ask LeBron about his future. Specifically, someone asked about his son, Bryce James. Obviously, LeBron waited, and Bronny was drafted by the Lakers. So in the Lakers organization now. Whether he's actually going to be on the team or whether he's going to spend most of his time in South Bay, the G League team, that remains to be seen. But it's a natural question to probably ask him, are you going to stay in the NBA until your other son comes? And he kind of didn't say no, but he was basically like, I'm not going to wait for Bryce. Like, it's been incredible, obviously, having Bronny here, but he's on his own timeline and I'm on my own timeline. Which, to me, I think LeBron, again, I'm not saying it's going to be his last year, but it just the tone kind of sounds like this could very well be my last year. I'm not going to wait on my other son. I'm on my own timeline. If I want to keep playing after this year, and he didn't say this, but it's just what it sounds like to me. Like, maybe I will, but that's a decision that's going to be year to year. So yeah, he didn't really give any indication of this is going to be my last year or I'm definitely going to keep playing after this. I think how the year goes, obviously if the Lakers go all the way and win the championship, I think he probably retires. He's like, I'm going to go out on top. If they lose in the first round again, does that change his mind that he doesn't want to be disappointed in that result? So it'll be interesting. But, he kind of just kept harping on the fact that, I'm on my own timeline. I've been playing this game for such a long time. Obviously so appreciative of all the opportunities I've had and everything. But off the cuff, it does sound like maybe this could be his last year. Now, again, that's just me completely speculating because he actually didn't say that. But kind of just the way he's talking and the way he's joking around, it just seems a little different from the years past. So we will obviously, we won't get an answer on this until the end of the season. Well, really probably until the offseason as a whole. We won't get a full-time answer on it. But it's going to be something that everyone's going to be paying attention to, and it's just good to hear from LeBron for once. Excuse me. Allergies just brutal, folks. But yeah, just excited to finally hear from LeBron, and obviously can't wait for the season. So next I'm going to talk about DeAndre Ayton. Now, I've talked about how important DeAndre Ayton is to this Lakers team. I've talked about what an important year this is for DeAndre Ayton, not just from a perspective of we want you to play the best so we have the best chance of winning, but also kind of a chance to just rebuild himself, right? Like, this guy was the first overall pick. No one's ever questioned his talent. He's always been a talented player, very talented offensive player. People have definitely questioned his motivation. They've definitely questioned his effort, which in the past I think is very fair criticism. But at the same time, this is a very talented player, and obviously, the NBA has been a little down on him. This is a chance for him to rebuild his reputation. It's only a one-year deal. He obviously, especially if he can show that he can be a strong piece of a championship contender, whether they win or whether they make it far, that's important to the future of his game. That's important to potentially getting him a next contract, a long-term deal. He's not going to get that max deal that he did, from Phoenix a couple of years ago, but it's a very important year for him, excuse me, to show that, he's a guy that all the stuff they've said about him, the attitude, the effort, like, that's done. Like, he knows what an important year this is for himself. And, he even said, this is the biggest opportunity in my career. He said that. He was very clear about that. He said, I understand the past few years obviously haven't gone the way I wanted, but this is a huge opportunity for me. He said he's not taking it for granted. He's going to give everything he has every day. Then he kind of talked about how every day you're trying to compete for a championship. Asked him about Luka. He said, obviously, he's gotten to know Luka through the draft process, considering the fact that he went first, Luka went third. And he's just really excited. He's really excited to work pick and roll with Luka. He talked about how, and this is obviously understandable, but playing next to Luka and LeBron is going to make things easier for him, going to give him better opportunities on offense. And, it's just going to expand his game and hopefully bring it to another level and have him playing at the peak of his ability. So, really excited for Ayton. I think he's such an important component of this team. To hear that, I need to see it on the court too, but that's such a great start because it really makes you think, he knows what the NBA has thought about in the past few years. He knows that this is a huge opportunity for him, and I think he knows that he has to give that max effort. He has to try really hard on defense, do all the things that maybe he was criticized with earlier to, first of all, be playing at the best level and help the Lakers hopefully contend for a championship, and B, to give him that next big contract, hopefully after a strong season this year, whether that be with the Lakers or someone else. So, going to be keeping a very close eye on DeAndre Ayton, especially those first preseason games, those first regular season games. He's just such an important piece of this team, so it's really exciting to hear him talk about just kind of hit the ground running and how he wants to give it everything he has. It's just really exciting to hear. Last thing was Adu Thiero, now the Lakers rookie. Obviously, we didn't really have a chance to see him at Summer League, which was unfortunate. I think we've seen, videos of him practicing and working out, but a little unfortunate kind of update on that is that, he said there's still a little swelling in his knee, and he has still not yet been cleared to play. He's a guy I don't think will be part of the rotation right away, but that's still disappointing to hear just because, we didn't have a chance to see this guy in Summer League. Obviously, we watched college highlights of him, but we didn't have a chance to see him in Summer League, and, at this point, who knows if we'll have a chance to see him in preseason, and those are really the best opportunities for a young player to establish himself and really show that he could potentially help this team, whether that be the beginning of the season or down the road. So definitely a little disappointing on him. Hopefully he can get healthy and we can at least see him get some training camp action in and some maybe late preseason action. But, hearing that, I think he's probably definitely going to start in the G League, let kind of work his way up. But at some point, I do think he will have a chance to contribute to the rotation. So we'll keep an eye out on him. But yeah, media day today, guys, and we're so close to Lakers regular season basketball. We're right there. So yeah, everyone have a good day, and just keep counting down the days till we're back. Have a good one, guys.